There's a lot, social media moves fast. We got to get on these trends and see like what's out there and what people are talking about. You might have seen this video about fat transfers.
Everybody wants to know about my experience with fat transfer.
Trigger warning, if you're a licensed esthetician, you probably want to skip this video.
So this woman is showing her audience how to microneedle at home.
Is microneedling using a pen a technically challenging procedure? No. I want to be clear about red light masks for the millionth time. Okay guys, we're gonna do some hot topics today. I'm Dr. TRIPATHI'S and I'm a board certified facial plastic surgeon. There's a lot, social media moves fast. We gotta get on these trends and see like what's out there and what people are talking about. You might have seen this video about fat transfers.
Everybody wants to know about my experience with fat transfer, and I believe that especially women have protective amnesia, meaning we go through something painful or traumatic and we forget how painful or traumatic it was. And my theory, maybe it's a widely known theory, I don't know, this happens so that we can reproduce and give birth repeatedly.
So I like seeing videos about fat transfer journeys because it's very different for everyone. It's very technique dependent. Everyone's healing is a little bit different and fat's put in different places at different times and blah, blah, blah. I like fat transfers because it's your own natural tissue. My version is a regen graft. I use growth factors in it. I boost it at 6 weeks and 6 months. And I actually chop up the fat in a particular way so that it can be used throughout the face in small areas and thin areas. And it can fully replace having to do multiple rounds of collagen stimulators or fillers to get your desired look. It's great if you want to do any facial balancing because it can all be done at one time and we can look at that balancing right then and there. But the nice thing about fat grafting is that we can do it in the office now. And it used to be that we should just do it in conjunction with lower Blvds or facelifts. It can pretty comfortably be done in the office in the right person on its own without any other treatments, or you could do laser at the same time and have one downtime. So it's a great one.
Trigger warning, if you're a licensed esthetician, you probably want to skip this video.
So this woman is showing her audience how to microneedle at home. And the reason why she wants licensed estheticians to skip her video is because she has no credentials in the skincare industry. If she did, she would know better than to encourage her audience to microneedle at home. There are so many reasons why microneedling at home is not a good idea. There's so much misinformation online. Consumers don't know what depth to microneedle at and where, what good technique looks like, and how to avoid complications.
Is microneedling using a pen a technically challenging procedure? No. You're taking a wand and running it across your skin and adjusting the depth. When you think about it that way, it can seem very easy, just like changing oil or, I don't know, filling up your gas. Well, I'm filling up your gas. Maybe like, I don't know, something that seems very straightforward to do. And yes, it is actually a technically easy treatment to do. Would I recommend doing it at home? Absolutely not. Here's why. There is sterility. So we learn how to be very sterile, and you can learn how to do the sterile technique at home. But the second and probably the most important is that we are trained to manage complications when they arise, because they will arise. And remember, anybody can push a syringe, and honestly, anybody can cut through skin and remove skin and suture it back up when trained properly. But if you don't understand the nuance and you don't know how to manage complications, you shouldn't be doing the treatment. Because if something comes up, then you're gonna end up in a bigger issue and wonder why you tried to save a little money and didn't just go to an expert. I know that these treatments can be expensive and they can seem very commoditized because everyone is advertising for $500 off microneedling, but always remember that these are medical treatments. They involve needles, they involve blood, they involve risks, real world risks. And there are people harmed even in spite of going to a trained professional. There are people that have, that get harmed by this. And you don't want to be responsible for trying to cut a corner and do that. So should you microneedle at home? No. Can you micro stamp? Absolutely. That's very safe and easy to do and has very minimal risk of a complication. But if you're don't want to even do that, just go to a professional, please. So this video is talking about red light therapy, specifically particular types of near infrared and infrared light and blue light therapy, and these masks that are sold on the market or done in the office, and whether they increase your risk of pigmentation if you are at risk for hyperpigmentation, because we know that visible light can potentially increase your risk of hyperpigmentation. Look, I want to be clear about red light masks for the millionth time. Red light masks, they need to be used consistently, so like almost every day, and they are not a miracle. So are they gonna potentially build a little collagen and help with some fine lines and wrinkles? Sure. Are they gonna drastically improve the look and feel and texture of your skin? Probably not. So that's option one. And if you're already doing the basics, can you incorporate one? Yeah. I think the bigger thing is the heat from red light. Any heat related thing can increase the risk of melasma if you already have it, or make melasma worse, including saunas, hot showers, etc., and even going on vacation. I also think there are certain types of people that are just more at risk for developing heat-related pigmentation. So skin of color, if we develop some pigmentation, and so anything can kind of trigger it or make it worse. I know there are some types of lasers that I've used that are supposed to be safe that give me pigment. So you have to realize that any device that you use is going to have a risk of it. I don't think it's a reason to be scared, but you have to weigh the risks and benefits, right? Is your red light mask doing enough for you to even use it? And are you using it every day? If that's not something you can say yes to, it's probably not worth your risk. But if you love your red light mask, you love it after you're getting microneedled or getting a laser treatment because it helps speed up your recovery and you're worried about pigment, then I would say it's likely okay if it hasn't caused any damage yet. And if you notice some pigment, then you can stop. It's generally something that can be improved with other types of in-office treatments. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more. See you guys next time.